Hey, welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Branson Quirk.
And I'm Tony Smith.
And, typically our podcasts are lively and we have fun stories, but today
it's a tragic one.
It's a tragic story.
It's a very sad one.
And I mean, I was shocked how short this trial was.
Yes.
Which you've been following this for the better part of a year. If you don't recall, if you're not up to date on this entire thing, Karmelo Anthony was charged with murder all the way back on April 2nd, stemming from when he had stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. And there's so much between that point, April last year, and now with the family of Karmelo, as well as Austin. But today, the verdict came.
And he was found guilty of murder in the death of Austin Metcalf, that being Karmelo Anthony.
Right. A Collin County, Texas jury found him guilty of murder. And the verdict came just hours after jury deliberations. The jury rejected Anthony's claim of self-defense. That was the question, whether or not...
Was it self-defense or was this, murder?
Yeah, was it just straight up, he provoked it?
Yes.
But witnesses say that Karmelo Anthony went into the tent while it was in the rain, and they went to completely different schools. By the way. And this was at a track meet in Frisco, Texas. And so, Karmelo entered the tent, and then at some point there was a verbal and physical altercation after Austin Metcalf told Karmelo he needed to leave the tent. And then during this scuffle, they say Karmelo pulled out a knife from his backpack and stabbed Austin in the chest. And it's a really heartbreaking case because we do hear the final words. We know the final words from Austin. I won't read them directly, but it's really hard to hear.
Yeah.
We heard from his mother back then as well, and how heartbroken she was, saying, my son is not here anymore. Karmelo Anthony's mom, however, was actually on the stand today.
Yes.
And did you want to take
that? So she took the witness stand during the sentencing phase of her son's murder case, and she was pleading for mercy from the jury. Her testimony came minutes after Karmelo Anthony was found guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf, and the sentencing is going to go underway to determine his sentence, which he faces up to from 5 to 99 years in prison. That's what he's facing. Kayla Hayes, who is Karmelo Anthony's mother, she told jurors that her son is remorseful, and he's very sorry for what he did. And Kayla Hayes was the only defense witness to testify during sentence proceedings. Prosecutors asked Kayla whether she still loved her son despite the conviction. During questioning, she was asked, regardless of what happens, you realize he will still get to be part of your life? And Kayla responded, yes, I do. So it's just an overall very tragic and very sad story. This was a really big national case, and it was getting a lot of coverage everywhere. Everybody was talking.
How old is Karmelo exactly now?
He is now 18.
He's now 18, so
yes.
He was tried as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is not great. What a whole life ahead of you had, and then to do something like this out of anger, and how that one reaction can ruin your entire life. Now he's facing the rest of his life behind bars. I forgot who said it exactly, but in the court, it was said to the mother of Karmelo that, regardless of what happens to your son, sentence-wise, he's still going to be a part of your life.
Right. That's what I was saying.
When it comes to Austin, he's not. So 5 to 99 is a very large difference of time. Big range of time. I don't know. What do you think that they should go with here? I think 25 to life.
I don't know. I think, and they were having issues during jury selection as well, just given that he's young, and there was also some race questions that were brought up during the just this whole trial and case in general. I think just from it's just a very senseless case or just didn't need to happen, and it's just overall tragic.
I remember growing up that some students would have knives in their backpacks.
Yeah.
I've seen people get expelled for having knives in their backpacks. And back then I think why are they getting expelled? it's just a knife in the backpack. Like we had like a lot of like guys who like to like cut wood and like do things like that. But then you look at something like this, and that's exactly why it's, you know, completely not anything allowed on campus.
Yeah.
You know, when something like that is around. I mean, even if Karmelo didn't grab it, someone else maybe could have. It's a very dangerous situation when people are doing this, and it's scary because it's like you don't know what people have in their backpacks.
Right.
You don't know what students have in their backpacks. I remember after like there was some tragedies and school shootings growing up that I'd be in class and thinking, you know, what does this guy have in his backpack? You know, this guy has anger issues. You know, and it's really sad. And he's 18 years old or 17. But yeah, I mean, I really have nothing else to say about it. To be honest,
me neither. It's just like I said,
going to be what the sentence is next, and that's going to be it.
He's facing 5 to 99, and
he's not facing the death penalty.
No, he's not.
So they ruled that.
Just a really tragic case, man.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to a completely different story here. We're going to talk about UFOs, as we do a lot.
Yes. Because TMZ DC is doing TMZ DC things. And we caught up with one of the whistleblowers, David Grush.
Like the OG, right?
Yes. And he had a lot to say about people inside the Pentagon. And are we getting the full truth? Are we not? Well, let's see what he had to say.
Dave Jacob here with TMZ. You're the whistleblower who really made the UFO debate mainstream. Do you know people who work in the Pentagon right now who are too scared to speak out right now about UFOs or extraterrestrials?
Certainly, because of what happened to me had quite a chilling effect with current and retired federal employees. So certainly. Yeah.
So there are a lot of people right now who want to speak out, but maybe are too scared to.
Absolutely. That's a fair statement.
Given, you know, the way I kind of view UFOs, everyone's talking about how we need more transparency, but if this information becomes public, don't you think there's a chance that the American public will lose their mind and think, what else is the government hiding about us? Like, can it turn into a bad thing?
That's certainly a possibility. I don't know what else. This is the only conspiracy I know about, but I think that is a concern of mine.
I thought what Jacob said at the very end is what a lot of people over the years have been bringing up, like, hey, if we get the full truth on aliens, and it is just, no pun intended, but out of this world, you know, like what we hear, what is going to be the public reactions to it? What do you think? Like
nothing. Like, I'm telling you right now, the public, based on everything that's out there already, we don't know what's AI and what's not nowadays. There could be a video of an alien in the Pentagon right now that was filmed, released by the government, and the panic would not be anywhere near what it would have been years ago, just due to all of the like psyop theories and people thinking that it's not real and that the government's trying to distract us. That's the big word now, is distraction. Everyone says, okay, well, what are we being distracted from right now?
Right.
Back to the Epstein files, back to Iran, back to what Israel's doing. So I do believe this guy. I believe the government has so much knowledge. I mean, look at what they released recently. They released images on Apollo 17's mission of things in the sky 3 or 4 miles away from these astronauts on the moon. And they never released that information. And there's even audio of one of these guys saying like what he's seeing in the distance and everything. And that's just one of thousands and thousands of documents and files and reports, some areas being way more reports than others. In the last batch, there was I think 1,000 docs on just one area in like New Mexico or something like that. So this guy, this is kind of where I kind of sparked my interest in all these unidentified things, was when this guy came out and said that, you know, the government has a lot of information about non-human craft, UFO programs, and that he claimed that, oh, sorry, I read that wrong, but yes. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think the fact that he's reaffirming that people are afraid to come out and come forward with the information that they do know speaks volumes to me. Because if it really was, like, say the alien, like say that we are aware, or the government does know that there's alien life out there or another species, if they were really harmless, I feel like they would just come out and say it. I think, or just if the technology in general was not that harmless, we shouldn't be concerned about it, they would just come out and say it. But the fact that people are afraid to come out, it to me, as just a regular citizen, that's speaks volumes. Like there must be something that we do. And I don't think we ever as the public got the full truth with the Phoenix Lights phenomenon that happened in 1997 or Roswell or any of these UFO crafts that go underneath the water and then come out and they're just going full speed ahead. You know, there's
things
stuff that needs
propulsion
explaining
that we can't have, like that we couldn't have. Unless it's like really secret military stuff or China or something like really undercover that we don't know about. But this has been documented for a very long time. Things in the water, coming out of the water. The orbs are what really interests me a lot. I haven't seen one before ever, but I've watched a lot of videos on it. And there are people like Casey Musgraves, for example, celebrities who were on flights and were looking out the window and saw 3 orbs in the distance that followed the craft all the way down. And then it doesn't even end there. She told the pilots about it and said, look what I saw out there. And they say, oh, we see those every single night. We tell people about them, but people just kind of go, whatever. In my opinion, the government, if these things were a threat, they would have shot them down immediately. Not even just a threat. If the government didn't know what they were, they would have at least tried to shoot a lot of these things down. And that's where I think if they're not shooting them down or trying to, then they know what it is. They 100%. Remember the drones last year?
Yeah.
I forgot what month that was. It was maybe 2 years ago now, but there was drones all over the place in the sky, New Jersey. They were everywhere. Some of them were orbs, and some of the drones were like going up to the orbs. I know I sound like a crazy person.
No, but
this is a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
And they didn't fire at those drones that they said they didn't know what they were. The government said they had no idea what those were. And it's like, I think the American public in general, just in a democracy, republic, just from a basic human perspective, if there's another species or there's advanced technologies out there that we deserve to know. And there's been too many instances, especially since the 40s, like I was just saying with Roswell, that people have so many questions about these incidents, and I don't think we got the full truth on it, and the American public deserves to know, and these whistleblowers and people in government should not have to fear to come forward. We all should work together as humans and try to come to an understanding, hey, this is what we know. How do we approach it from here? In a perfect world, yes.
Exactly.
That's never
we don't live in a perfect world.
The government knows a lot more than everybody is leading on, especially around the world as well. There's lots of governments. You know what's really weird to me? And maybe someone in the chat can tell me this. We'll get to the comments. I know you guys are tired of talking about UFOs. You want to go back to the Karmelo Anthony story. But answer me this. Why is it that Antarctica is like the one area that the entire world agrees on to not touch? So if you go to Antarctica, there's a treaty that all the governments have signed where they don't touch Antarctica for any reason. And people have their theories. Yeah. That maybe there's something in there or like underground. They don't understand. Like someone, I don't know. Maybe somebody in here can understand. Man. Maybe someone who's been to Antarctica can answer that for me. I've been researching that a lot. I sound like a crazy UFO person right now, but let's get to the comments. A lot of people are arguing in here today.
Yeah, this is a very contentious case.
Let's see. Branson and Tony in the house. Gotta start it there.
Thank you, Brandon.
Krista said, super sad, all sides, but disappointed in the verdict. Hopefully a less than very harsh sentence. Okay, so you believe that it should be kind of like a first time around type case, but when you kill someone, you don't really get that privilege of like, oh, well, you don't have any criminal history. That's like saying I could go just stab someone to death on the street. And they're like, well, he doesn't have any criminal history, so we'll give him a few years and he'll come back. Like, no. You made the decision. You killed somebody. That's it. Sorry. Ticket ran out. Let's see. Brandon said, Branson, I was right yesterday when I said Trump would be sleeping by halftime. He was, and he enjoyed some fries as well. Yeah. Fries make you sleepy. You know?
I heard the new term, everybody, you know how he was calling, Joe Biden Sleepy Joe? Yanni Donnie.
Yeah. Yanni Donnie.
Yeah, I think that one might stick.
What's Yanni? Oh, Yanni Donnie. Okay, I get it. That's good. Good. Let's see. Bella, I am glad. I hope he gets 99 years, no parole. He's a bully and a baby.
Yeah, a lot of people feel. A lot of people feel what I've been reading.
Some people in here are fighting that it should be the death penalty for something like this, a death or a life for a life type of thing. I always get really, I'm not for the death penalty.
I'm just not. I tend to lean towards no. It's in some cases, I think it's justified.
And I think prison can be worse than the death penalty, in my opinion. Your whole life in there. I don't think it's up to us to decide who lives or dies. I think that's just something that we shouldn't play with as human beings. Let's see. Annan Rockwell says, carrying a knife is not premeditation, but holding it open and concealed while provoking a fight, then stabbing someone in the heart when they push you is in fact premeditated murder. I don't want to comment on that because I don't have the exact detail of how the scuffle went down and that, like if he got up, went and grabbed it, came back, or what happened. So I will not comment on that. And then a lot of people fighting over, potentially people are just fighting over the race card. So, so yeah. All right.
It's a sad story. And, we're going to be hearing a lot about this case in the coming days.
Here's a good ending comment for you. Rooney Tunes said, no one should be bringing weapons to school.
That's what
End of story.
Yeah, really.
Never. Yeah. Don't bring weapons to school, kids. And if you're a parent listening, make sure your kids don't do that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. No brainer, right? All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll be back here tomorrow morning with Courtney and Devin.
Thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.